am having, Mac.
I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Out of everything that I've seen from this franchise so far, after being a fan for many years, longtime fan, I feel as though the Mario movie could be the best thing this franchise has ever produced. Alright, now hear me out for a second. Now, I'm not talking about best in terms of quality, although I do believe that's also a possibility as well. I'm talking about best in terms of influential. This movie could influence the entire franchise into becoming something completely different than what it once was trying to do. This movie is exploring new realms of this franchise in which the gaming part of it wouldn't dare even try. Not that it couldn't, but it hasn't. I've been speaking broad here for the past 30 seconds because I want you to kind of think of something that you think this movie is trying to do differently than what the games have done before. Now magnify that maybe tenfold. There are so many things that this movie is doing differently than anything else we've ever seen before in this franchise that I feel like it definitely deserves praise. Actually, let me backtrack for a second because I don't even know if this movie is doing things differently per se, but more so taking things and giving it a slightly different approach to it. Like, there's so much lore just deeply rooted within these clips and trailers that we've seen so far that it feels like everything is somehow just magically being connected. That is one of my favorite parts of this movie so far from what we've seen. Everything seems to have a place. Every Mario game or Mario piece of lore is represented in this film, and it's done in such a way where it just feels natural. And if you're like me and like natural things, you should like and subscribe to this video and also turn on the post notification bell. That way you can be naturally notified on when I post and upload videos. And even going just beyond the references you may see in the trailers, the story itself, so far from what we know, seems to be doing an excellent job in telling a Mario story, but in a different way. As you may know, Mario games aren't really known for their stories. Most of the time you only hear about Peach getting kidnapped by Bowser and it's up to the Plumber Brothers to go save her, and that's the only bit of story you normally get. Of course, there's his spin-offs, its RPGs, and all kinds of other games that don't follow this narrative direction, but most of the time, this is what Mario is known for, Mario saving the damsel in distress. However, this movie is not doing that, or at least not that we know of. This time, it looks as though Luigi is the one being captured and Mario is going to have to go save him, with the help of Princess Peach and Toad. Now on the surface, you could easily just say this is another Mario rescuing someone's story, because that's pretty much the general realm of what's happening here. However, I would have to disagree. This movie is much more than just a rescue story. This is an origin story. How Mario became Super Mario. How Bowser became this horrible, threatening king who destroyed and conquered different kingdoms, all for the quest of power. A story about Luigi and having to deal with his cowardice, and Princess Peach about having to protect her kingdom with everything on the line. And then there's Toad, who just wants to have a real adventure. You see what I'm doing here? All of these characters have their own stories. You see, what the Mario games often do, and most games do, they focus on one character and their growth. You see, in Mario games, we don't even really get growth from Mario. He's a silent protagonist, but here in the movie, as Shigeru Miyamoto said, Mario is a character who's going to be talking a lot. And we know from these trailers and clips alone that Mario is starting off as someone who really doesn't know what he's doing. But throughout the movie, he's going to grow and turn into the Mario that we know him as, Super Mario. I remember hearing a while ago that people had a complaint with the Mario movie when it was first announced because they were fearful that Miyamoto couldn't tell a story. They were fearful that what would this movie be about? It would be basic, bare bones. There really wouldn't be a whole lot of content here. But I feel like that is a fear that should be completely discarded. You expect me to believe that the man behind the games The Legend of Zelda, Donkey Kong, Star Fox, Pikmin, and Super Mario, the person who began telling a story in video games before it was even a thing, has no idea how to tell a story? Think about this for a second. This man created a universe full of unique and distinct characters, and you want to put a label on him saying that he can't tell a story about said unique and distinct characters? Do you realize how ridiculous that sounds? And this all stems from the one line I believe Miyamoto said many years ago that I don't even remember how to quote. But he said something along the lines of he doesn't tell deep stories for the Mario series because he wants to focus on gameplay. But he didn't say he couldn't tell said stories, he just said he wouldn't. Believe me friends, there's a huge difference between the words wouldn't and couldn't. Wouldn't imply something I can do, but I won't do. Couldn't imply something I can't even physically do. Essentially, what I'm trying to say here is Miyamoto can and is telling a Mario narrative with the Mario movie, and can likely do so going forward with this franchise given the potential success of the Mario movie. This is precisely how the Mario movie can change the franchise forever. Not only can it change the overall public perception that Mario is more than just rescuing the damsel in distress, but it could also purely just change Nintendo's mindset on giving Mario more stories, whether it be in the games or other medias. Personally, I would love to see the Mario characters talk more, and I'm tired of kind of just hearing the regular wahoo or the grunts or whatever else they have going on. Seeing dialogue among these characters, I think would truly be spectacular. We had something like that in Mario Sunshine, but Mario, for whatever reason, was the only one who really didn't speak. I want all of the characters to talk. That may sound like a big ask, but if the Mario movie is successful, I feel like just about anything is possible with the future of this franchise. But what do you guys think? Do you think the Mario movie can change the franchise forever? Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. I'd love to see what you guys have to say. Thank you all again so much for watching. This is Sonic signing out. Have a super blessed day, y'all.
Why are you playing that trash?